Hey, family. This is Yvonne again. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. I got a treat for you today, and I'm so excited about what I'm about to do today. One of my reason I do this channel is because I want to build a legacy. I want to leave a legacy, but I also want to help you and other people build a legacy. And today I have my special guest. This is Janel Legard, and she wrote a book. Here it is. You can be like me too. She's a architect, a business owner, a mother, a wife, just a wonderful person. I've known her for over 20 years. And the reason how I got meet her is because my son, when he was going to go to college 20 something years ago, I met her and she was a female architect. And I was so excited and I introduced him. And now 20 something years later, they're working together. So without any further ado, I'm going to let Janelle tell you a little bit about herself and why she wrote this book. And we're just going to have a conversation and we're going to let you listen into it. So,
Hi,
how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you having me on your channel today. I'm just excited to tell the story about architecture. I love architecture to life. I was born to be an architect, originally from Chicago. And when I was growing up, I found my love for architecture when I was in high school. And my teachers at that time encouraged me to take drafting classes, study, and do all that I can to, just delve myself into the profession of architecture. And my high school vice principal went to Tuskegee University, where I went to obtain my bachelor's of architecture degree, and then stayed there 5 years. Then I went to Auburn University to get my master's in construction. So 7 years straight, and I have been here in Jacksonville, Florida for 26 years. I appreciate my parents because they, at the time, did not know any architects. There are no architects in my family, but through the support of encouraging parents, they fostered in me, developed in me, and encouraged me to pursue this career without limitation. And to this day, I thank them for it every day.
And I understand that because, like I said, I have a son, and just like her parents, it was the same thing for me. And we're the same generation. Is that I didn't have that person in front of me to say there was an architect. My family's construction background, so we didn't have an architect. And everybody I know was never an architect. It was all in construction or it was engineering. So the same thing I had to do was foster that into my son. And he's now an architect and enjoying his best life, and of course will continue. So I'm excited about that. So one of my first questions is you told me your passion about it and how you got into it. How can you see this helping you build a legacy for you, your family? Explain that to me.
Yeah, the reason I decided to write the book, well, I went to our National Organization of Minority Architects conference in Nashville, and I met a young lady. She was at the vendor booth and she had her books on sale for display.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, oh, wow, I should put my story down in writing to help build that legacy for the next generation. When I was growing up, I didn't have that female role model of an architect. And I know, I should say, I'm that for the next generation.
Right, right.
And so it took me over a year to like get the courage to write it.
Okay.
And then it took me a year to write it. Writing is a long process. You have to be creative with the story. You have to work with editors. You have to work with illustrators, which takes some time. And then you have to work with publishing and printing. The whole process took a year.
But you did it.
But I did it.
But you did it.
And I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of you because you went forward. No matter what the time is, we have to understand. As long as you take that move and you go forward, just keep going. The process is not important as long as what you do and how you do it. Just keep going. Everything is not going to happen overnight. Well, it will happen. And I'm so proud that you took that time, no matter what time it took. It took a year to write it. It took a year to that. But here we are today.
Here we are today.
The book and the coloring book.
Yes.
And the name.
Yes, the name is You Can Be Me Too, A Week in the Life of an Architect. So the story or the premise about the book is my daughter has an assignment at school where she has to write about the week of a professional. And she wanted to write about someone in the fashion industry, but we didn't know anybody in the fashion industry. So she settled for me, Mom. She settled. So that's the clincher in the story.
Okay.
And so as we're talking and having this conversation and I'm describing my work week to my daughter, she realized day after day, I do pretty cool things. So she is like, taking notes feverishly in the book. And then at the end of the conversation, she has to do a presentation in school. And the whole school didn't know that her mom designed the school. So that was the whole premise of the book, that that bringing awareness to students is where my passion is. I volunteer at the high school since 2007 with ACE mentoring, architecture, construction, and engineering. That's what ACE stands for. But my passion is for this storyline to go another generation lower, to start the pipeline into the profession of architecture, which is middle school and elementary school, funnel into high school and college. So bringing awareness. That's why I wrote the book.
That's good. I like that. Leads right into my next question. The legacy is more than what we leave behind. So my question is to you: what we live every day is a legacy. I want to know, what does living your legacy look like for you every day?
Yeah, basically, it's just living my best life. It's like knowing I go to work to be an architect. If I didn't get paid to do it, I'd still do it. That's how much I know it's in me. And my daughter's teacher mentioned that there was a young man in school who likes to draw, two of them actually, that likes to draw.
Okay.
And they said they don't even know an architect. And that grieves me.
Right, right.
So that's my passion. It's like I'm always advocating for this profession. I'm always advocating for the youth.
Okay.
I'm always advocating for, the construction and architecture industry, because that's what I know, and I just would like to continue to share that with the next generation.
Okay, great. My next question is, so there's one design principle an architect that you think that you can also apply to building a strong foundation in your life. What would that be?
Yeah, that principle would be integrity. Number one, with design and construction, you have to have a sound structure, and you have to design it according to building codes, and making sure that everything is in line, because our structures protect the public health and safety of the individuals who occupy the building. So I equate that into legacy and into writing this book, just having integrity overall, and just speaking life into your profession, speaking life into students that may, find their creativity. I always say this one fact is, we spend majority of our lives in buildings or structures, like the home that we're in right now. An architect designed it, and we don't even consciously think about that. Somebody had the thought in their mind, the idea, they sketched it out on paper, handed it over to a contractor, and they built this structure. And that's the way we are with most of our lives. And children today spend a lot of time with Legos, such as I did when I was a child, building blocks, Lincoln Logs. They spend time playing Minecraft. That's a form of architecture, a form of creativity. So if they take that creative energy and realize they can equate that to a profitable profession, that's mind blowing. And that's the way they can go to their job day in and day out and feel creative.
And it's interesting you said that because she is right. Architect is just not the physical building, but you can be an architect of your life. No matter what career that you're in, you're architect of that career, because you're the one who's going to design it. You're the one who's going to build it. You're going to make foundation. You're going to do everything you need to do to get that business up and running, that idea up and running, that dream up and running. So just remember that architect is very important in every facet of our life. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Let me see. What has there been a moment in your career or your life that you have felt stuck, and how did you move forward and grow from that?
Oh yeah, I perfect example. Becoming an architect. I started working in this industry, like I mentioned, 26 years ago, 1998, and I didn't receive my architectural license until 2009. It took me a long time to get my license. Never quit, never give up on your dreams. So my commission to the next generation: study for those exams, do the due diligence it takes to, become licensed, and just stay the course. If you know that this profession is for you, stay the course. Don't get weary in well doing. Keep passing it until you pass, and then at the end of the day, nobody asks you, how long did it take you to become an architect? Nobody asks. It just say, okay, are you licensed with the state of Florida? Yes, I am. And keep conversation keeps moving.
Okay. So your mother, your wife, So tell me about your kids. What do they think about you being an architect? What is their take on,
Mhm.
or how do you structure them, or do you want them to be architect? Just tell me a little about your family
Yeah, my
and the kids.
yeah.
That's your legacy.
My kids, they ask questions all the time about what do you do? What does an architect do? And the reason why I wrote the story about what my week looks like, because as an architect, um, people may have the misconception that all I do is sketch in my sketchbook, or
Right.
I'm just having pretty colorful pictures. An architect is much more than that. I'm
Right.
very technical in mind as an architect, meaning I can close my eyes and I can envision how this building is going to be put together. You're going to have to learn about how you work. Your designs work well with structural engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. So it's a lot of collaboration. It's not like me standing on an island by myself. Um, Architecture is about business as well. I have to learn how to manage the finance of architecture, how to keep my clients happy, customer relationships, how to write emails, how to have conversations. Some of the things we talk about this is going to job sites. Oh, I love going to the job sites where I see the projects that I have designed and built, or designed, not built. But and when I walk on the job site with my boots and my hard hats, and the contractors are looking like, okay, young lady, what are you here for? And I'm like, well, I'm the architect at this building. And they're like, oh, okay, yes, ma'am, come on in, come on in. And it's kind of funny, you know what I mean? Because there are not a lot of African American women in architecture, number one. When I was licensed in 2009, I am one of the first 500 licensed African American architects in the United States of America.
Congratulations. That's I'm so excited for you. When I met you, I just knew there was something about you. And I just, I told my son, watch her, look at her. And that would be our example. Whether she's a woman, a black woman, that's our example that we have, the physical example that we finally found that he can relate to. So I am so excited, that you went through that journey, because I think you did it, like you said, for the legacy. My son is part of your legacy because you was who I referenced when he went to college, because you was the first one that I met, and I know you wasn't licensed at that time, but in my head you was, because you was going through the process, and I had always said, okay, she's an architect, and so she's taking the exam, and I remember asking you, what exam were you on this year? You said I passed this one. I think it was a 7 or 4.
It's nine.
It was
I had to
9.
take
Okay, I
nine.
know it was
Yes.
quite a bit,
Yes.
and I was like, and you said, I'm on. I got 2 more. I got this one. I said, keep going.
Yes.
I'm backing you. So
Yes.
I was behind there cheering you on, because
Yes.
you finished, he get to finish it, he getting to see, and I was just so excited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my children to this day, they still ask me about what I do. They don't want to be architects, but they I think they have a different appreciation for what structures do for our lives
yes,
in the spaces that we occupy. And it's like every time we're out and about and I see something that has an architectural feature, I'm looking up and looking around and like, Mom, what are you working on now?
well,
That's my eye is,
great.
and I'm training their eye to appreciate the built environment. What
Yes.
architecture brings to the community and how structures are different for different reasons, and they can be impactful for people's lives. So, you know,
And
eh,
see, that's the one thing that I like, because that once we as parents explain to our kids, not that they have to be in our profession, but whatever profession we explain to them, we give them knowledge. And people understand legacy is not always about leaving money or leaving a physical thing. It's also about giving wisdom.
mhm,
And wisdom could be in every area of your life. Don't just, narrow it down to, okay, you don't want to be like me, so I don't know nothing about it. It's your responsibility to find out, to help that child become all they can be. You don't need to know it all. You just need to know where to find the people that can help them become what they need to become. And today in 2024 and beyond, it's so much out there. We're not limited like I was back in 1995, 94, when I had to, get my son from junior high to college, and even before then. And I'm sure like Janelle parents, we just had to do what we had to do. But now, so build that legacy. Don't give up on that child because you do not know that profession. You don't need to know it. You just need to find and lead them into the right. There's schools. There's so much information on the internet. It's just ridiculous right now that you cannot do. But I just want to leave you with that you need to understand that that's a legacy. Don't always think about it being as a physical, a house or a car or something you can fit, or money. But legacy is also about wisdom, information, a recipe. When we look at our the way we are right now, our grandparents used to cook and write down recipes,
Yes.
and a lot of us don't have those recipes. But that's a legacy because a lot of us know how to cook and bake based on what our parents did or whatever it might be. Just make sure you do that.
And I want to say this,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
volunteering makes a big difference as well. If you're working in this profession, volunteer for your local, programs that help our profession, like ACE
Right.
mentoring. To this day, I met a couple of high school students, mentored them all 4 years of their high school,
Right.
and now they're working in the profession alongside me. That blows my mind. It's like I made an impact. You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
legacy building.
That is legacy building. And to think about it, all you have to do is plant a seed. All you have to do is be there and be willing to share your story with others, and they will follow suit.
Janelle brought up a great point because sometimes also we always figure legacy has to do with just our family members, but no, it has to do with anybody that we can have that have a voice, that we have a voice in their life and we can make that impact. So just remember that. Don't just think it's just your immediate family. A lot of people don't have any kids, but nieces and nephew, you have friends that have, your godparents, that's everything around you. You need to now look at it as being a legacy building opportunity. Okay, great. So, what is one small actionable step our audience can take away today that they can start building their own legacy that you think you want to leave with them?
Yeah, I would say everybody has a story. Um, Everybody has some wisdom inside of you, like Yvonne just mentioned. Put it down on paper, connect with the youth to kind of help them get inspired. Like for me in my profession, we call it Project Pipeline. It's like making sure that once I retire out of this profession, there's somebody else to follow behind me, and that's what my commission is. That's the reason for this book. I love to connect with students, and wanted to go out and into the school systems and talk to the children to keep them inspired.
Okay, so to wrap this up, is there anything else you want to say? I know you gave that for. Anything else you want to leave with us? Anything you want to inspire us? Just anything you want to say to your kids that from now on they're gonna have this video to look back on. They might have to show it to their grandkids. Is there anything you want to look in that camera and say to your babies, say that you want to read with them?
I would say first and foremost, I have to speak to my husband first. Wonderful support system. Thank you for all
Great.
that you do. I couldn't do what I do without him. He helps me tremendously. And to my kids, I love you to life. Mom does what she does because it's a passion of hers. Whatever career you want to, be a part of, find your passion, find your gift, and I'll connect you to those resources that'll help make you 100% what God created you to be. So thank you.
Right. Thank you, Janelle. I think this is great. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know if you're excited as I am about this video that we just did. I mean, I am in it's like a full circle for me, and I'm just so happy inside. And I love all that Janelle said because I've seen her in the last it has been 25 years, roll and become the young lady, the woman, and now the mother, the wife that she is. I love how she spoke to her husband and her kids, recognize, everyone that's in her life is important. So what I leave for you today is that no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, you can also leave a legacy. And always remember, you can start at any time, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you start. So before we end this video, Janelle, tell the people how they can get in contact with you and how they can buy your books and your coloring books so they can pass it on to their family.
Yeah, thanks, Yvonne. You can reach me at or visit my website at shop.legardarchitecture.com. That's shop.legardarchitecture.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Legard Architecture. Thanks, Yvonne. I appreciate it.
No problem, sweetheart. You have a great day and keep on doing what you're doing. I'm so glad you was here with us. I'm just so excited to see what the future have to bring for you, your family, for the legacy that you're building, and how many more books you're going to write. And it won't take a year next time.
Speaking that.
Thank you.
Thank you.